Hello, class. My assigned chapter was chapter 8, titled Today's Students. And here we go. How is diversity reflected in the culture of the United States? More than 17 million U.S. children under age 18 had at least one foreign-born parent during 2012. Nationally, more than half of immigrant children have parents from Latin American countries, Mexico, Central America, and Spanish-speaking Caribbean, and South America. The amount of diversity in the U.S. expands the array of languages and cultures in public schools. However, even if these diversities are beneficial to the learning environment, they can also be very challenging. Because of that, there's a high demand for minority teachers nationwide. The meaning of culture. Culture is the way of life common to a group of people. It consists of the values, attitudes, and beliefs that influence their traditions and behavior. Culture serves as a way for people to interact and look at the world around them. The salad bowl is a well-known analogy that represents the mix of cultures found in the United States. At one point, it was believed that all cultures should mold into one once they step into the United States, but each individual culture managed to stand out and prove itself impossible to mold into a single one. This is what makes the United States the United States, and these cultures should be preserved and something to be proud of. What does equal educational opportunity mean? Providing educational opportunity to all students means that teachers and schools promote the full development of students as individuals without regard for race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, religion, abilities, or disabilities. Thanks to research, strategies have been developed to help individual ethnic groups and their particular learning styles in the U.S. These groups include African Americans, Afrocentric, Latino and Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, and finally, Native Americans and Alaskan Natives. What is meant by bilingual education? Bilingual education programs help provide the learning needs for students whose first language is not English. Congress passed the Bilingual Education Act in 1968, which involved language minority students to be taught in their native tongues as well as English. Many school districts offer a salary bonus for bilingual teachers. Advice for monolingual teachers. Even though the goal bilingual teachers are trying to achieve is to provide language minority students the help they need, the same challenge can happen in the classroom with a monolingual teacher. These strategies are taken from the Parquet book that will help monolingual teachers help these type of students to the best of their abilities. Be aware of your students' language abilities, make sure appropriate cultural experiences are reflected in the material, develop your own supplemental materials, take record directions for the materials so students can replay them for clarity, and break tasks into smaller subtasks. What is multicultural education? Multicultural education is committed to the goal of providing all students, regardless of socioeconomic status, gender, sexual orientation, or ethnic, racial, or cultural backgrounds, with equal opportunities to learn in school. The students' culture makes them learn and behave in certain ways. Even if multicultural education is the subject of this course, the fact that there is a public dialogue about how schools can address diversity is a huge step towards progress. This dialogue presents a positive culture that embraces and incorporates values of diverse groups. As this inclusion of cultures becomes more and more popular in the US, more controversy begins to rise. Multicultural education is criticized for focusing on the students' differences rather than the similarities among a bigger group. How is gender a dimension of multicultural education? Expectations for males and females are shaped from society's traditional culture. Stereotyping conditions boys and girls to act in a certain way regardless of their abilities and interests. Even if this is a huge problem, uh, publishers of curriculum have managed to notice like this is a problem and they're trying to fix it up and stuff. And just like gender, LGBT students are also experiencing discrimination due to their sexual orientation. Teachers will acknowledge a student's special needs. There is always an invisible LGBT kid in every class in every school. One study of 120 gay and lesbian students ages 14 to 21 found that only one-fourth said that they were able to discuss their sexual orientation with school counselors, and less than 1 in 5 said they could identify as someone who had been supportive of them. Because LGBT students feel isolated and self-destructive, teachers can provide a lot of support in their lives. This is why it's really important to be a caring and educated and, most of all, kind teacher to play a big part in the student's life and in their self-esteem and potential. And that's it. Thank you guys for listening and have a good one. Bye.